They come in the dark, silent, ruthless, unstoppable. Across the farmlands of Germany, something wild and destructive is stirring beneath the moonlight. Fields that once stretched in peaceful silence are now battlefields, their soil torn apart by feral invaders. The culprits? Wild boars. Massive, muscular, cunning creatures that plow through crops like living bulldozers, leaving behind chaos, destruction, and millions in losses. For farmers, every night feels like a war. But here's the question. Are hunters truly protecting the land, or is this a cruel fight against nature itself? At dawn, the mist hangs low over Brandenburg's farmlands. The air is cold, and the tension is thick. Michael's team of hunters moves like shadows across the open fields, every step measured, every breath quiet. This isn't sport, it's strategy. The boars have been tearing through the area for weeks, uprooting vegetables, damaging irrigation lines, and turning fertile ground into craters of mud. Farmers have begged for help. Now, armed and alert, the hunters are their last defense. Team fans out, forming a perimeter. Then it happens, an explosion of movement at the edge of the field. A massive wild boar bursts from the brush, sprinting straight across Alex's line of sight. There's no time to think, only react. A single shot cracks through the air, echoing across the plains. The beast drops instantly. Alex exhales, steadying his hands. One down. Dozens more to go. As the sun climbs higher, the hunters press on. 10 minutes later, Ryan spots a herd in the eastern fields. Dust rises as the boars tear into the crops, ripping roots and tossing soil into the air. He locks onto the largest one, a brute, easily over 200 pounds, and squeezes the trigger. The gunshot echoes and the target drops. But before he can reload, the others vanish into the thicket, their heavy bodies crashing through the forest like thunder. The land falls silent again, but everyone knows it's temporary. Nearby, Michael himself faces off with another boar that bursts from hiding, charging wildly. He steadies his aim and fires. The animal collapses mid-run. Another victory. For now, the fields are safe. But this battle is far from over. Meanwhile, in Lower Saxony, another hunting group is deep in the forest. Chris leads the way, moving quietly through the brush. The hounds are restless, noses pressed to the ground, tracking fresh scent trails. Then, a sudden flash, a dark shape crossing the path. Chris raises his rifle and fires in one fluid motion. The shot lands clean. The boar crashes to the ground. If he had hesitated even a heartbeat longer, that same creature could have stormed into nearby farmland, causing thousands in damage overnight. Moments later, chaos erupts again. The hounds bark wildly, signaling movement ahead. The hunters rush toward the sound, and out from the shadows, another boar bursts forward, charging fast. The gunshot cuts through the tension. The animal falls. Silence returns, broken only by the panting of the dogs. The hunters drag the carcasses back to their truck, a grim but necessary ritual. Each hunt is a message. The balance between humans and nature is fragile, and sometimes survival demands harsh choices. But this isn't just Germany's problem anymore. The wild boar crisis has spread far beyond Europe, reaching as far as California, where these invaders are wreaking havoc across farms, golf courses, and even suburban neighborhoods. Their numbers are exploding, their damage catastrophic. They uproot crops, destroy irrigation systems, and even pose a threat to drivers and hikers. These aren't harmless woodland animals. They're powerful, intelligent survivors. And in the wrong place, at the wrong time, they can be deadly. A full-grown wild boar can sprint up to 40 miles per hour. It can weigh more than a man, slice through underbrush like a tank, and, when cornered, turn into a charging wall of muscle and tusks. For hunters, the danger is real. A single mistake can end in blood. Every step into the woods feels like stepping into enemy territory. While tracking one herd, I suddenly heard the unmistakable rustle of movement behind me. The brush parted, and there they were, a whole pack charging fast. I raised my rifle, aimed, and fired. One dropped immediately. The others disappeared like ghosts. But just as I exhaled, another sound closer this time. I turned, and a dark shape burst toward me. My first shot missed. I dove aside as the boar lunged, its tusks slashing through the air where I had stood seconds ago. I fired again. The shot connected. The animal collapsed just feet away. My heart was pounding, but I was alive. A few yards away, Ethan waited at the forest's edge. A massive boar charged past, trying to escape. Without hesitation, he fired, dropping it in a single shot. As night fell, we regrouped under the faint glow of flashlights. Then, another roar from the woods, a final ambush. A boar rushed straight at me from the darkness. I stepped back and fired. The creature collapsed right at my boots. 1 second slower, and I might not have walked away. As harvest season approaches, the farmers grow restless. They know what's coming. Every year, the herds return just as the crops ripen, tearing through the fields in a few short nights. It's why the hunts must continue. Without them, months of hard work would be wiped away in hours. The dogs pick up the trail, barking furiously. Tyler waits on the hillside, eyes fixed on the movement below.
If you'll enjoy this video, please like and subscribe my channel for more information.